People of the world, welcome to Send It Rising. My name is Kellen Kausman, president of Send It Rising Internet Marketing. Today on the show, Holmen School Board president admits to using alter ego Facebook profile. That's not going to be embarrassing. Leaked Facebook document shows the company has no idea how to manage their user data. How true is that? We're going to find out. YouTube expanding its pre-published check tools to the mobile app so you can see if you're in violation of any of their terms of service before you publish. YouTube expanding its Super Thanks monetization option, building on its creator revenue tools. We're going to be talking about streaming, YouTube creation, making money that way, and all the different ways that social media companies are trying to get creators onto their platforms. Meta publishing new guides on landing page best practices. And YouTube stung by TikTok rivalry, Apple changes that hit Facebook. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get started with the top story of the day. We're also going to cover Elon Musk. Don't worry, in his takeover of Twitter. Holmen School Board president admits to using alter ego Facebook profile from WXOW.com. Holmen School Board President Cheryl Hancock admitted that she used a phantom Facebook account to interact with other people regarding district issues. Did she pretend that she was for them? Did she pretend that she was against them? She pretended to be a mother of a Holmen Middle School student. Why would you do that? She used the account to interact with other Facebook users and commented on the defensive tone of the Holmen School Board election. We've got a back and forth here. Annie Almaris, I think, is a real person, and then, or maybe she's the fake one. Holmen parent Jennifer Wesley said in a statement to the news organization, quote, "This behavior does not exemplify what a community servant and steward should possess." Hancock said she was unable to do an on-camera interview, of course. Quote, she says, "I can do better and be better. Yes, I did have an alter ego profile on Facebook. While my intention was to use the profile to correct misinformation, I recognize that it was a lapse in judgment." Yikes! How many people are using fake profiles that are never caught? I know for a fact that there are some people out there in the world that have created some fake profiles to slander me, to write libelous things about me on this very YouTube channel. YouTube.com/SendItRising, in case you're wondering the name of the channel. But yeah, people do that all the time. I would say 99% go uncaught. But she happens to be school board president, so should she have done that? No. No, she should not have. 9to5Mac.com leaked Facebook document shows the company has no idea how to manage user data. Is that true? So via Engadget, there's a report written by privacy engineers from the Facebook ad team, according to the article, and it was sent to the company's leaders. The engineers detail how Facebook could deal with local regulators asking for new privacy measures to protect user data. However, according to the report, even Facebook engineers agreed that the company has no control over how user data is managed internally. Shocker. Is that so funny that we look at these companies from the outside in and they seem more stable? Maybe you might be hearing me say this and go, Kellen, I could not more what would the word be? Vigorously disagree with what you just said. But as far as I can tell, I think about a Google and I think about massive power. I think about extending reach. I think about Elon Musk buying Twitter. I think about major corporations with major power. But of course, internally, they just see weakness everywhere. From the article, the Facebook ad team warned the social networks directors that the company would have a hard time promising governments. So here's a direct quote. "We do not have an adequate level of control and explainability over how our systems use data, and thus we can't confidently make controlled policy changes or external commitments such as we will not use X data for Y purpose." Wrote the report's authors, quote, "And yet this is exactly what regulators expect us to do, increasing our risk of mistakes and misrepresentation." And so it just goes to show that it's so easy for someone to stand in front, well, I shouldn't say it's easy, but to stand in front of Congress, the Senate, whomever, and say, okay, we will not use this data for Y. It's so complicated. And as I've said before, machine learning makes it even more complicated. When you set up machine learning to work with data in a certain way, what you end up with is X data for a million purposes where Y could be one of a million things. So it's not so simple. The takeaway, of course, is that Meta stock is down perhaps because of some of these issues. YouTube is expanding its pre-published checks tool, according to socialmediatoday.com. Pre-publishing checks basically are making sure that you're not doing anything wrong before you publish the video. According to the article, after first launching it on desktop last March, YouTube is now bringing its pre-published checks tool to the mobile app as well. There's an example here where YouTube's pre-published checks tool analyzes the content for your upload for a range of potential violations. So when I upload via desktop, it always does this. I'm never in violation of anything. I can't imagine you're in violation of anything. But as you can see, they are attempting to crack down on bad content and doing so with a pre-published check tool. Again, socialmediatoday.com, YouTube expanding its Super Thanks monetization option, building on its creator revenue tools. Andrew Hutchinson is our author today. He writes, with the competition for creator monetization heating up, YouTube has announced an expansion of its Super Thanks monetization option, which will enable creators in 68 regions now utilize the additional viewer donation feature. So it's no skin off the back of YouTube to allow their creators to receive donations. They obviously want the creators to produce as much content as possible. What none of us realized, maybe you did, maybe you're smarter than me, what I didn't realize at the birth of Facebook and the birth of MySpace and the birth of all these social media platforms, Twitter, etc., is that the users themselves are the workers. They are the primary caste system. They're the untouchables at the bottom of the pyramid that are working for free. They are working for the gift of being able to be on the platform. And so when you are giving those people, I don't know, a platform that is decent to use, fun to use, then fine, that's what they get paid in. But when you have content creators like myself, you really want to incentivize them because they're spending a tremendous amount of time and effort to ensure that the content itself is strong. According to the article, Super Thanks, which YouTube added in July of last year, enables users to make quick donations to their favorite creators in the app by purchasing a Super Thanks animation at one of 4 price points between $2 and $50. We see this on Twitch all the time. This is something that you see in live a lot. They're just taking a page from the playbook of Twitch. If you're unfamiliar with Twitch, you really should check it out. It's an incredible platform owned by Jeff Bezos and Amazon, which may make you hate it, but that's the reality of the world we live in. #capitalism. Meta publishing a new guide on landing page best practices. Getting users to click on your promotion, according to this socialmediatoday.com article, is one thing, but how you get them to take the next action is the real key to conversion. And in this respect, your landing page plays a critical role. We know this. Meta, if you check the link in the description, youtube.com/SendItRising of this particular video, you will find a link to this article that has a link to the guide from Meta. Quote, as Meta and user experience experts at Branding Brand, seriously, that's the name of their brand. Welcome to Branding Brand, where we brand your brand. Conducted research and began classifying the different types. We determined that it was much more accurate to broadly refer to these as destination pages, since landing pages are just one type, blah, blah, blah. So essentially, there are a number of things that you can do to increase the likelihood that people will convert on your landing page. Meta is getting into the game in regards to education there. YouTube stung by TikTok rivalry. Apple changes that hit Facebook, from NDTV.com. For months, investors, according to the article, have worried about twin forces walloping Facebook's business, the targeted advertising bans on iPhones, and the rising popularity of TikTok. The concern should also have been directed at Google's YouTube. Combined with economic upheaval from the war in Ukraine, pressure has contributed to an abrupt sales slowdown for the world's largest video service and a rare earnings miss for the parent company Alphabet. And so we've been talking a lot about how Apple has really hurt Facebook. We haven't talked a lot about the Apple privacy changes affecting YouTube. I think the whole economy is really struggling right now. And we can see that in things like Google's parent company Alphabet missing their earnings target. According to the article, over the past year, Apple Inc. has upended social media companies by placing tight restrictions on third-party ads on iPhones that hit Meta platforms the hardest, but not YouTube. Previously, Google said Apple's privacy changes had a small impact on its video site, but Tuesday, its executive said that YouTube saw a slowdown in growth of direct response ads, the marketing formats that use targeting to reach consumers. YouTube advertising was the weakest link in Alphabet's first quarter results, posting just a 14% increase to $6.87 billion, according to the article. So basically, As an advertiser, which I happen to be, our ads are not as impactful as they once were because we simply don't have the data we once did. So YouTube feeling the sting as well. Apple going after everybody. As the hardware producer, they have a ton of power. Final article of the day, Elon Musk already broke his agreement with Twitter from QZ.com when Twitter agreed to sell itself to Elon Musk for $44 billion on April 25th. The two parties agreed to specific terms. Musk doesn't yet own Twitter, and he won't for many more months, but he is now locked into a contract, and there's a $1 billion penalty at stake if he pulls out. So what rules are they saying he broke? Quote, so long as tweets do not disparage Twitter. There we go. So tweets may not disparage Twitter or its representatives. And yet, Rafi Melkonian is saying that he did. He tweeted, Musk can also pull out if Twitter does something naughty in between now and when the deal closes next fall. But there's nothing weird here. Twitter can't buy another company or sell itself. Sure, just sort of standard stuff. Musk tweeted what could be considered two separate disparaging comments about Twitter employees on April 26th. So did Musk read the fine print? I don't know. Does he care? Are they going to shut down this whole deal because Musk wrote some disparaging tweets? Yeah, probably not. But I don't see Elon Musk stopping from tweeting anytime soon. Do you? Final story. I said the last one was I was wrong. TikTok was the top app by worldwide downloads in Q1 of 2022. This comes as a surprise to no one. TikTok absolutely exploding. World's fastest growing social media platform. Sensor Tower, according to TechCrunch.com, recently released its Q1 2022 Store Intelligence Data Digest, in which TikTok was the top app by worldwide downloads. Q1 2022. It's surpassed 3.5 billion all-time downloads. Pretty incredible. Ladies and gentlemen, that's the show for today. I appreciate y'all swinging by. YouTube.com/SendItRising. Do you want to support the channel? Subscribe there. I'm doing TikToks every day. TikTok.com/SendItRising. Send It Rising also on Instagram. We're on YouTube. We're on Facebook. Like our Facebook page, won't you? I happen to be the president of Send It Rising Internet Marketing. If you're looking for incredible things like Google local service ads, where you get a guaranteed lead as opposed to paying per click, we do that. We do gorgeous Facebook ads. Very strong demographic targeting on Facebook is now available to agencies like ours. I have the best staff in the world. And if you want to chat, info@senditrising.com is a great way to reach us. Thanks so much. See you next time. Bye for now.